Hi everyone, it's Taylor. Welcome to the new Banzai Manager. This is really exciting. We've been working on the manager for about a year now. It's been in beta testing the past couple of weeks, and we're finally ready to have the official launch to allow everybody to log in and have at it, have full access to everything in relation to the manager. Thank you so much for your feedback. Everything that you now see on the screen here and that you will see has been driven by your feedback. And as we go through just this short demo, I want to preface it by saying as you log in and as you go into your own manager, please keep us posted on what we can do better on how we might be able to customize this to better adapt to your needs. So with that in mind, let's take a little journey through the manager. Let's go on a little tour here. So as we see, I just want to run you through, there are a couple sections. We have orders, impacts, and profile. Let's talk a little bit about the orders. You're going to see 4 tabs at the top. You've got your new tab, in transit, to deliver, and then delivered. Now I'm going through this on behalf of Keesler Federal Credit Union, one of our partners in Mississippi, and just to give you a live look into what it actually looks for, in this case, Keesler's area. So let's take a little time on new here. Every time you get a new request, you're going to continue receiving emails. And the emails, if you haven't seen this already, I believe it happened last week, instead of directing you to, or instead of including all the information in the email, it will now provide a link that directs you to Banzai Manager. Now we do that to encourage within the manager. And we've had a couple thoughts already about the link. You used to have a link within the email that had the option to ship directly to the teacher. Well, we took that away temporarily to allow you to get comfortable in the manager. So now if you were to receive the email, in this case of Ms. Adams here, you would have a little link that says, hey, go to my Banzai Manager. You click on it, it opens up either a sign-in field, or if you've recently logged in, it may automatically log you in. Now, Terry has everything set up at Keesler to be shipped directly to teacher at this point, which is why we don't see the option. Typically, it's right next to this orange Get Help button. It's blue, it has a ship to teacher button. You click on it and it does exactly what the email did. Eventually we'll bring that back, but for now we want you to get used to working within the manager and get comfortable here. Now let me point out just a couple things. We have obviously all the details with Ms. Adams' request. We see that she teaches 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. Resource management class. We see her address, phone number, email, and we also have a little timeline of everything. So she made the order on, actually I believe it is the 11th today. She made the order today. She confirmed right away, and everything is now in our shipping room. Now once it's shipped, or at least once it's marked as shipped, it will go into in transit here. And once it's in transit, the ship to teacher button will disappear. If you need to cancel something or wished that it would have been shipped to the teacher, just let us know and we can work through it that way. But now we see another feature here. We see the ability that we have to track this. And as I mentioned before, typically, depending on your shipping preference, these could be sent directly to you. These could be sent to the school. By clicking on the tracking number here, it'll open up another tab that provides my FedEx tracking number. It looks like it's going to be arriving Wednesday to the school. And you can see that as I close out that tab, you can see that it has even the shipping address right here as you go along with it. Now let's say the whole point of Banzai Manager is to help, number one, keep tabs with everything, find out where everything's going, have all the information in one place, and also we want it to be a database for you. So let's say you want to make a note here, and I'll go in later and I'll delete this and be like, oh, Cynthia's a good friend. So you might say that is a friend of mine. Boom, and I push enter and I can make that note and it will pop up here. So you can make notes. By the way, anybody can access this manager. If you want all of your team to have access to it, just let me know. I can send them invites, and this can really be an ongoing database where you can update everything, you can make notes, this, that, and the other. Now, one of my personal favorites, probably in my mind, the most attractive feature within the manager, other than the fact that everything is in one place and it actually looks good and you're not spending hours on end searching emails to find that teacher that you forgot about or something like that. The idea behind this came from feedback that we were getting from our partners who were having troubles making that initial contact with the teachers. You give them a call, you leave an exciting voicemail, you send them an email, and nothing. You don't hear back. Well, you send them another email a couple of days later, and you're like, what's going on? I haven't heard from them. You contact us, and in a lot of cases, within a couple minutes, boom, we hear back from the teacher, and you're kind of like, well, like, why in the world would they respond to you and not to me? Well, we've done a lot of research on this, and we found that a lot of that is because of the security servers by both you and the schools. And so we were thinking, is there any way that we could give you access, at least for that initial email, to our servers? In this case, Cynthia had to confirm with us multiple times, we know that line of communication is already open. So is there any way for you to make that connection through our servers? And we found a way to do so in a personable way, which was one of the big questions that I had going into it. So what I did right there is I just clicked on this Get in Touch button, and you'll notice that this exists for in new, to deliver, in transit. And if let's just say I was Terry right now and this was actually being sent to me, I clicked on my tracking number, I found out that it was going to be delivered on Wednesday, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to give Cynthia a call. I'm going to see if I can set up that appointment. So I might give a call and reach out to her. By the way, I see a little bug here making notes as I go through this demo to make sure I update and get this fixed with the number. So let's say I give her a call and I go right to the voicemail, leave her a message, and I want to send an email because typically they'll respond via email. So I go into the manager, I click Get in Touch here, and you'll see that I can customize the subject line and the text. You're welcome to use what we have here. You can customize it however you'd like. And boom, I click send. Now, if I did click send, Cynthia would actually receive an email from me. Now, the cool part about this, by sending an email through the manager, it actually uses our Banzai servers. So you can rest assured with 100% accuracy that every email you send through the manager is going to arrive. It's going to be received. Super, super cool. Now, the big question I had going into it, I was like, hey, look, if I'm reaching out to a teacher, I don't want that first contact to come from something that looks like a third-party app. I don't want, in this case, Cynthia to think that I use some automated third-party server to send it, that it actually didn't come from my personal hand. And I'm happy to say that it comes as if it were sent from your normal email. There's no way to tell, which is really cool. And in this case, when I send it and Cynthia replies, it's not going to go into the manager. That would be super tedious. It'll actually pop into my email inbox, just as it does today. And you continue your communication through your email. You never have to use the manager again. But it's a great tool for you to be able to make that contact and know that it's going to be received by the educator. Now, it looks like Keesler doesn't have anything in to deliver status, but if they did, same idea. This would simply mean, and because Terry, they bypass the ship to branch option and they go directly to they've been with us for about 5-6 years now. Because they bypass that, this field is not really relevant. This would be relevant if it was sitting here at the branch, and I would have that, obviously the tracking number would mark it delivered, and then I would be instructed to reach out. So instead it goes directly into this delivered field. Now, as you go through this, you can see that this will have an accounting of all of your teachers from day one. And I could scroll through this and they have a ton of teachers here. But the nice part about it being a website is you can actually do the little Control F, the little find tool on the page, and you can look for anybody. So if they had somebody with the last name of Smith, for instance, I could look and I say, okay, Yolanda Smith ordered on the 11th of February, and you could click on her. And if I clicked on Yolanda, it would pop up her details. I'd have her phone, her email. I'd have, again, the timeline of everything that took place, any notes that I made, and lots of cool features like that. So as you go through this, and again, you're welcome with any of these. You can continue to contact them through the manager, even if you've already delivered, even if you've already made that contact, and lots of cool things as you go along that way. So we have, again, new, in transit, to deliver, delivered. Now, a cool part about to deliver and this is kind of something that we're thinking about implementing fairly soon after everybody gets accustomed to the manager, is ways where we can proactively work together to make sure we're able to make those initial contacts. For instance, let's say we had a couple teachers sitting here in To Deliver, and they've been there for a couple weeks. Let's say you're busy, you're out on vacation, or you're doing something, and they've been there for a couple weeks. But we want internally, we want something to notify us that you're having, we want to make the assumption that you're having troubles connecting with them. And in this case, I want to be like, hey, Terry, I noticed you have a couple teachers sitting in To Deliver. They've been in there a couple weeks. Do you need some help? Like, is there something I can do to help reach out? And then she might be like, sorry, I just haven't got to them yet. I actually delivered all 3 of them. And as you go through this, and there will actually be, because they don't have somebody in To Deliver, there's going to be another button right below Get in Touch that says Mark is Delivered. So when you log into your Banzai Manager and you go to Deliver and you see a couple teachers that you've already delivered to, don't be surprised by it. Simply click on, I believe it's already delivered, and it will move them into that delivered status. And again, you're not going to get any notifications just yet, as we want you to be able to feel comfortable going through it. Now let's say in this case I call Cynthia. Call her a couple times, send her a couple emails, even send her an email through the manager. She still doesn't get back to me. Well, that's not your problem. You have a lot on your plate. You have a lot of things going on. We don't want you to worry about it forever. We want to be there to help with that. So I'm going to send an email through this Get Help button. So if you click on Get Help, there's a couple options. The most common, I'm having trouble contacting the teacher. You can also click on Report a Problem or something else. Now when you click on it, I'm having trouble contacting the teacher. This will send, in this case, it'll send me an email that will, or Julia, it'll send us an email saying exactly what is happening here. And if I click Send, this will now go into my inbox, and it'll also create a case for me and make it top priority so that I follow up and I make contacts with our support team to make sure we can help with that connection. So at this point, when you click Get Help, the ball is now in our court. You can move on, you can forget about it, and we can do it this way so that nothing falls through the cracks. Now, if something comes up and you're out of the office and it's easier for you to just give us a call or send us an email, that's totally fine as well. This is just another option for you. So let me just walk you through. We have new, in transit, To Deliver, delivered. Again, as you go through it, let me know what other questions you have and feedback you have for those. I want to take a couple minutes and talk about the impact section here. This is really, really cool. We number one, we have, I'm looking at it in the favorites field. You have press mentions as a tab, teacher feedback, and now student feedback, which is really cool. So we click on our press mentions and we see this past year that on the 9th we had a really cool release here, and we could click on it and open up a new tab. We could look at all of our teacher feedback. Now this doesn't have all your teacher feedback from the beginning of time. It just has, I believe, maybe the last month or so. So it might not look that cool as of today, but it will continually get better as we get new teacher feedback. The same is true for student feedback. I think this is really, really recent, as of a week. And so this is there's some really good notes that we see. I'm just kind of reading a couple as I go through it. It's the first time I've actually seen the student feedback on Keesler's area. And it looks like Terry went in. So on this favorites, they're already pre-selected favorites are press mentions and teacher feedback. So they will automatically be selected as favorites. Now you can go into the student side, and it looks like Terry's already done this, and she highlighted a student that she really liked, and for good reason. That looks like an awesome note that one of the students of Mr. Gaudin's class wrote. The cool part about this, you can have everything in one place. You can see it, you can gather it. We're now working on ways to have, I think we're calling it like an executive summary, ways where we can print all this out and give you all these features. Pretty soon you're going to have information on the number of teachers who've signed up, the number of students who've signed up, all that data. I mean, that's kind of where we want you to be thinking. What can we continue to do to make it better? So hopefully this was a good little tour, just a couple quick minutes to go through it. Have at it, log in, have fun with it, be really, any feedback, even if it's wild, even if it's crazy, please give it to us, because we really want to make this this better for you and adapt it to your needs. So we'll talk soon. Hope life's treating you well. Thanks again for letting me take you through a quick tour.